I hadn't heard you, Echo. I'm sorry.
Hey guys, welcome
It's okay.
back.
Hello.
Hello.
Let's start off
Let's play Dungeons and Dragons.
Let's start off this session with a recap of last session.
We're gonna
If
play
someone-
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, we are.
Hello. I can do it.
Hello.
Someone else wants to do it.
No.
I mean, maybe
No,
Pen
you
should,
do it.
maybe Pen should
Do
do
it,
it.
coward!
Eat shit.
Come on,
didn't
Ben, it's
take
an easy one.
notes.
I got it. I have notes.
Oh.
However, I
Hooray.
also have. Here's what I'm going to do. I have 3 inspirations, and we can only have 3 inspirations, so I'm going to give my inspiration to you, Pen, because I have a suspicion that Priya might need it.
I take back the thing I said about you eating shit.
Good. I am glad. Maybe don't do that in the future.
No, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
It's not advisable, but it's what I do.
Okay. Well, I will give my inspiration to Rose.
Wow.
So
Dang.
hey, I'm
Just
telling
like
you.
that.
I'm telling you, don't fucking insult me, man.
I just got
Okay.
put in my
So, contracted consequences.
Aw.
We were contracted by the owner of the logging company, Goran Steiner. We had arrived in Andale. And this is like a teeny town that was sort of like a logging town that sort of like everybody here works in the logging company. We knew that 5 dudes had gone missing, and we basically went and talked to the bartender to like kind of see what was going on. And the bartender told us about a couple of the people that had gone missing. He told us the most recent guy was Thomas Polk, that had been on like or the first one was Thomas Polk scouting the border of Arborith, and that there weren't any like to kind of see if there were predators. He didn't have any family in town. There were no enemies as far as we knew, and there was this theme that developed where, as we kind of learned about the town, that these people were kind of like migrant people, and they didn't really have a lot of family. They didn't have a lot of. They were basically they just sort of showed up to do the job, and even none of them had really even been around for very long. The next one, Ryder Emerson, was about 22. He went missing, kind of like on watch near the old mill. Also didn't have family in town. Cole Hornrock was a young dwarf, 53, young for a dwarf. And he came from Steelhelm, and he went missing early in the morning before the sun came up. And then Tyrius Uthalis was a half elf that also didn't have family in town. He came here from Arborus. And then the most recent disappearance was Clay Lincoln, which was interesting because like this is the first disappearance that actually happened in the town. And he was like literally, it seemed like he was like taken from his bed at night, like while his wife was there, and that was 6 days ago. And it seemed like this happens about every 7 days. So the disappearances were kind of like they were all scary, but they were getting scarier because they were getting kind of closer and closer to town. There was also some sabotage at the mill last night, and some like equipment was broken. And so now there's like a curfew instated. Everyone is kind of freaked out. Goran Steiner is sort of like, for lack of a better term, kind of basically the mayor, like the overseer in the town. And he's contracted to run his operations by the crown. And so it seems like there's like one theory that like this is trying to kind of get at the crown somehow, scare the crown away in some way. Because that's who this company's working for. They told us that lodging for us and that lodging was on the company, and that there was a volunteer that was like willing to act as bait. He's Pete Duke, a human who wants to quote unquote impress Iris. So like he has a crush on someone. He wants to be like, I am, like, look, I am brave. There's also been some predators around that people have been sort of like hunting. One of the guys like disappeared during like as he was like kind of hunting, um, and it seemed like one commonality was that all of the victims seemed to disappear when they were in low light. So that was like the information that we kind of like managed to extract from them. Goran also just we also kind of like mentioned the weird candle that we had passed, and he said, "Oh, there's the path of the Shrine of Baldface." So that's sort of some cool world building thing. Like that gives us some context for that candle that we passed. Priya decided to use the Hat of Disguise to disguise herself as like a masculine-looking person because she's just totally convinced that the hag is only going to go after Wake, even though we've got 2 other dudes in the party.
Well, they only attack handsome men, so.
I have in my notes. I have in my notes. Rode and Thrym continue to be chopped liver as far as Priya is concerned. And also Priya clearly thinks very highly of herself in terms of how hot she is. So she's turned her. She's kind of like she's turned herself canonically into this like Twinkie sort of boy.
Yep.
Thrym and Rhodes distribute some of. Thrym has the really smart idea to have Rhodes distribute some of his various rocks. So theoretically, we have maybe a means of like if he concentrated on it, he could maybe track someone if they went missing. So Flower has Corbin, Thrym has a piece of obsidian, Priya has some amber, Rhodes has an opal. Wake doesn't really care what kind of rock he has, and Kenya presumably also has some kind of rock. We went to the stable to Wake seemed very anti like getting this random local guy involved in this plan. So he was like, no, we'll do this instead. Like we got this. And he went to talk to some of the horses at the stable, who gave us some information about how they like there were it sounded like there were a million voices shouting, and there was a smell like sweet apple and ash. Which Flower recognized as the smell of darklings and rolled a nat 20 on her like recalling of what darklings are like, and so she knew that they were small and preferred darkness, were vulnerable in the light. They have a burst of like light when they die. They speak Sylvan. They usually travel in groups, and they're pretty good at ambushing. And she was like, they would make really good henchmen for a bigger fey creature like a hag. Flower also asked Goran how common magic was around here because he seemed really impressed about Wake talking to horses, and Flower was like trying to get a sense of like how common is magic on this plane, basically, and didn't really get a super satisfying answer to that question. It seemed like Goran was saying like there's magic around, but there's usually more magic in cities. But like he basically Flower was like, "Is it uncommon?" And he was like, "No, it's not uncommon, but we're just common folk." And she's like, "So it's."
So.
Common. Wake, we basically we decided to set up at the town basically as the new night shift, and the people at the factory got some time off. Wake was set up a bunch of snares to catch the darklings and had to like keep shooing Flower away from them. Priya flew Thrym up to the top of the roof, which was a big day because Thrym usually doesn't fly. Eventually, we found out that there was like a simple steam engine that was powering the mill. Kenya convinced Priya to let her take first watch with Wake because she could be a bird. Wake had also talked about how he could maybe take watch with someone as an animal and be hidden. And so essentially, we're going to do that, but like Wake is going to be still going to be the bait, and Kenya is going to be with him, and she's going to be the animal. And Priya like trusted Kenya enough that was like a thing that they could still do. Rhodes looked for signs of darklings and found some tiny footprints from behind the trees to the north. And we also set up this like noise alarm to help detect the darklings, but I don't think that ended up going off. We started watch, and Priya decided not to sleep because she was worried about Wake. 3 hours passed, and then Wake eventually put the drift globe away, which did seem to attract the creatures. One of them got trapped in the snare, and Wake seemed like unafraid to fight in the dark because he seems to have some experience fighting in the dark and just kind of like going by his other senses. One of the snares caught the Darkling, and we rolled initiative on a couple of Darklings. Zira cast her Twilight Sanctuary for the first time, and it was very much like a golden hour for everyone, which was very cool. Flower spent her first turn of the combat trying to persuade the Darkling to talk, and that didn't work. So she tried to charm it, which was kind of the first time that she's used that ability, which didn't work. Wake spent his first action tying up the Darkling, so it's like fully trapped, and like it had disadvantage on the save because of Hex. And basically, it just couldn't do anything for the rest of the fight. Poor Thrym tried to hit things with cannonball, catapult a couple of times, and it didn't work. Kenya got some sneak attacks on people. Rhodes chucked some guiding bolts at people. The Twilight Sanctuary was super, super helpful. one of the Darklings eventually kind of like created natural darkness to like blind Wake and Priya, and like that seemed to not really affect Wake too much, but Priya was freaked out. Um, Zira, after the combat was over, Zira did a lot of healing with her healing staff, which was super useful. I think most of us are back up at full, but a lot of us are down spell slots. Wake, Thrym, and Kenya went to sort of see. They saw some more dark figures that were kind of retreating into the north. And then, with the help of the party, particularly Kenya and Wake, Flower interrogated the creature that the Darkling that we had left, which at some point it called Flower like not really Fey, which like Flower really didn't like. And the information that we got is that there are two apparently famous in the Unseelie apparently blood hags called the Hook Sisters. They have a particular taste for young men, but it seems like anyone will do for their uses. They use blood magic of some kind, and it seems like the Hook Sisters are a coven, and they seem like they're all here. The They're up in the north. They're up in the north, deep in the woods. They apparently don't like the logging operation because of some sort of territory dispute. The portal has been here for 6 weeks, and they did, in fact, come with 3 doppelgangers that then disappeared. Those are the 3 that we had killed. And it seemed like the Darkling like didn't really know why they disappeared or anything, and didn't know anything about their business at the Honey Hill. Like we knew more about the doppelgangers in that case. Rose argued for keeping it alive in part because we could maybe track it back. I was thinking like Rose was thinking it was Hunter's Mark, but was ultimately overruled because first of all we're all pretty tapped, and it seems like fighting them right now is not a good idea, and also because if we gave it sort of any sort of advantage, like to know like the questions that Flower, even though it couldn't speak our language, it would then know the questions that Flower asked. And so we killed it. Flower used her last spell slot to cast Command because she was mad at it, and then we all kind of like dogpiled on it. At which point we realized that Priya was gone. Kenya, like, and Wake kind of like sprung into action. Kenya like flew around and found some like where the tracks disappeared into a tree, and then Wake kind of like rolled survival and figured like found the broom not too far away and kind of like picked up on the next set of tracks. Rhodes spent a couple minutes concentrating on the rock that Priya had and kind of got a direction. So Zira grabbed the broom.
Sort of.
I don't know exactly how that's going to go, but we Zira grabbed the rune and we're off to the races. Many of us are down lots of spell slots. We are like not in a condition to fight the hag right now, I don't think, but we have time is of the essence, so off we go.
Yes. Perfect recap. Who would you like to give the inspiration to?
I want Pen to experience consequences for her actions, so I'm giving it to Rhodes.
You're giving it to who?
I'm giving it to
Rhodes.
Rhodes.
Oh,
okay.
don't worry, Priya. If you really need it, I'll think about it.
Okay. I
So,
don't like Quincy.
I don't know the context of this, but
I was
funny
sassy to Emily.
She said mean stuff to me, and I was like, all right, well, I was gonna give it to you, but if you're gonna be
fair,
mean to me,
fair.
I'll give it to somebody else.
I was overly sassy.
this is a spanking.
You were unapologetically sassy, I believe.
Yeah,
Is the
you were
issue.
unapologetic.
Yeah.
well, in that case, we'll pick up right where we left off with Wake leading the charge into the deep, dark forest as a wolf, I believe, or a dire wolf. Which one was it?
A dire wolf. Why would I be little wolf when dire wolf is better?
I was
Why
just
little
double
wolf
checking.
and big wolf?
However, here we are.
Oh, great.
Traveling.
Here we are in the woods.
The boots.
The deep dark forest. This music is far too cheery for what you're about to run into trying to find Priya. So, you found her broom and you found the direction in which she was taken. How do you go about following the trail?
I smell.
With his nose.
Okay. I believe direwolves have keen smell.
They fucking do, boyo.
All right.
Boyo.
Boyo.
So this is going to be a perception at advantage for smell.
Natural 20.
All right. For a total?
For a 28.
28.
Tasty.
Okay.
Someone came to play today.
Like
I guess.
like a bloodhound,
The other one was
the
a 3, so.
distant cousin of a wolf. You pick up a scent that is not other creatures, predators, or just pine. You pick up the smell of iron, and it's trailing northward, directly north.
I think Wake has a hard time not just going full fucking bore. He moves, like, he darts ahead 50 feet and then waits for the party to catch up. Over and over and over.
Poor guy.
Okay.
I don't. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Kenya's got
How
60 feet of flight.
how is everybody moving with the dire wolf? And I believe Kenya is in bird form, following along.
Yes.
Burb.
Yes, no bird form. Which, by the way, class.
Yep.
Can you? Sorry, don't. Ignore me. Just go on. Go on. Sorry.
Okay. So how is everybody else following along? Are you just double dashing, trying to keep up with the dire wolf, or
Yeah, Deer is jogging, trying to keep up. But he's got 4 legs, so he's like fast.
Yeah, he's fast. I mean, I think that like it's not really possible to sneak and also keep up with Wake at this point. So
I think the jig is up on a stealth entry at this point.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So I think speed is the name of the game. I don't have anything that other than just dash actions to follow. So
Same.
60
Yeah,
feet.
even if I had a spell, I can't cast it right now. So
Yeah. I think I have 60
Running.
feet of flight, and that's it.
we're just running.
okay?
Grim is the fastest thing you have ever seen.
Oh, without a doubt.
Only move 20 feet around.
Oh my god.
Well,
I have a
he's-
gift for
I mean,
this.
We're not naturally sprinters. We go.
That's what I was gonna give.
I don't get it.
I think Thrym is lagging behind a little, but he's doing his best.
Okay. Yeah. So Thrym is taking up the rear with the dire wolf and Kenya
Huzzah.
bringing up
I
the front.
I think at some point, actually, this will be interesting. I think at some point, Wake, at some point at one of those points where Wake is like way far out ahead of everybody, and Thrym is kind of way far behind because he literally can only move slower than us. Wake will hear Flower in his head. Wake, slow down. We can't see you. Slow down.
Wake is waiting for you.
I understand that this is happening, but like at some point when she loses sight of him, like at one of those points where he's far ahead of us, that will happen.
You would hear Wake just growling.
Wait,
Which is very funny because he could respond in words.
That is
Growl
the
all
first,
you want. You're running ahead, and we're trying to keep up. Okay.
that is the first time she has spoken someone's head. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Well,
you
how
can
does
just
that
do
work?
that now?
Sorry, that's out of.
That's a question for another time.
Really, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Three.
Yeah, a mystery.
Okay.
Wake sits up on his haunches and says, "Excuse me, how did you do that?" No.
Yeah, right. This is not the moment. This is not the moment. I have cool things too. I want to see it. Okay.
All right. I'm just gonna put out here in like the order of how things are playing out with Thrym at the back, Wake in front, Kenya
I
following
think Flower.
along. Yeah.
Flower
No.
somewhere in the middle of the pack. Flower somewhere in the middle of the pack.
Okay.
Roads would be wherever is kind of close to Flower.
And I imagine it's real dark, and we don't have the drip globe, right? I imagine the drip globe is still in Wake stuff.
I do Eyes
The
of
drift
Night
globe
again?
was out, I believe.
It's just catching up slowly. Just
If it was
Yeah.
Gliding along.
you used Eyes of Night already, and I think that's only a once per long rest thing.
Oh, you're right. It is.
Well,
Only
you've
once.
only used it twice, so it's up to
Oh,
your.
right. I still have 3 people I could give it to.
I mean, we talked about this last time, that it's a one-time
I can't
use
give it.
sort of a thing.
Right. I can't give it to anybody who's
Up
already
to
gotten it.
up to how many? Up to your wisdom.
5
modifier.
creatures. Yeah.
Right.
And I was allowing it to be like one creature this hour, one creature that hour.
Oh,
but
okay.
I can't, yeah.
Just not the same
So
overlap.
it cannot be Wake
Right.
or Thrym that you can give it to.
All right. So I'll give it to the other 3.
I don't need it.
Yeah,
300 feet of dark vision?
Flower will definitely take. Flower will always take that whenever.
Yeah,
she's
take
really
it.
afraid of the dark.
I can light up like a Christmas tree, so I don't need it.
Yeah, that would be. Will Rhodes do that? Is Rhodes lit up like a Christmas
No,
tree?
not right now. Yeah, I have limited
which is
uses
why
of
I'll
it.
just-
I've already used one, but I have dark vision normally. I just don't. It's not as far
Oh.
out.
Yeah, that's why you'll get the 300 feet
Well,
now.
we might need one later. I'm just
okay.
saying, Rhodes doesn't see
Okay.
a need for it right now. You can give one to someone else.
I there's only 3 of you I can give it to, so.
Okay.
So
So
I'll give it to Flower and Kenya if she wants it. Sure.
you are on this trail that smells faintly of iron, and it's like a mixture of iron and like a sweet flower.
Flower's always sweet.
Sometimes.
Flower's usually sweet.
So, as you push forward, the first 30 minutes is just running deep into the forest. You are unsure of where it leads and how far this trail goes. And at the end of that 30 minutes, suddenly the trail stops abruptly. You're not in any kind of clearing, or you don't see any landmarks. It's just trees and branch and bush that relatively look all the same. What do you do?
letting somebody else talk first, if anything.
Well, you're the first one to realize the trail has gone. Has
And
stopped,
Thrym's not there yet.
right?
Yeah, the trail is.
I'm just
stopped.
what is the sorry, my dog in the background. Is Wake making some sort of motion that the trail has stopped? Does he look like he's sniffing around trying to find the trail again? Is looking angry about it?
He's
Something like
completely. I would say that at this point, Wake is stopped and trying to search where the trail picks up. So he's like doing tight, concentric circles in the
Okay.
area. The typical
Yeah. Well,
search behavior.
when Rhodes and Flower catch up to you, Rhodes will kind of get the idea that you're having trouble, and so he's going to kind of look around as well. So I'll roll a survival. Nope, that's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah.
Just say you want me dead, Gannon. It's fine.
You're kind of looking around, and everything looks the same. You don't know directional if like you're still going north or not. It's very hard to orient yourself.
Rhodes looks up at the stars.
Okay.
Can I see them?
Yes, you can see them.
Okay. By looking at the stars, can I tell what direction north is?
With a 9, it's hard to tell. There is no light pollution, so I mean the stars are visible, but it's bright. It's undiscernible for you right now with a 9.
Okay. Anybody else want to do anything?
Thrym, when he finally arrives,
Mhm.
and after catching his breath for a little bit, will try to kind of reach out and see if there's anything magical in the area.
Okay, are you just doing this like based on sight, or casting a spell to try and?
Mostly just sight and feeling around, I guess.
Okay, then this is probably going to be very difficult. First, you're going to try and make a investigation check to see if you can spot anything abnormal.
13.
You look around at the surrounding trees, trying to find some sort of indication if there was like a residual ritual cast or some sort of marking. But much like roads, everything looks the same. Zira, with the 13 perception and your dark vision, the forest is quiet. It's not too quiet. You
I was just
hear
gonna say, too quiet. You got it.
you do hear the occasional branch being like the trees creaking in the wind, and you hear like small critters kind of like evading your presence. Um, but with the 13, nothing. You don't spot any sign of Priya or whoever took her. I'll open this at this point for another perception check from the people who haven't done anything yet.
Flower is going to reach out with her kind of natural connection to the Feywild and see if she can pinpoint anything about the portal that she knows is pretty getting close.
This is this is more site based. Trying to find if there's anything familiar with maybe the veil being thin in this area. So this would probably be perception from Flower.
I mean, it's not. I'm trying to do something that is more than my +1 perception, but I will. The DM rolling. I'll roll perception. I rolled okay. 18.
18. You peer around at the floor, the trees around you, and with an 18, you do spot indications of Fae traveling through this forest. Like an odd piece of bark that shouldn't be in this area. It doesn't correlate with any of the bark on the trees around you.
Damn it! I was just about to roll nature.
But the colors and the presence around you, maybe you're fairly certain the veil is not thin here. There is no way to enter the Fey wild from this point.
So is it markings that she's seeing on the bark?
Make
trail
a
mark? Okay, like what is it that I'm seeing?
make an Arcana check when you pick up this piece of bark that it does not belong.
17.
17. Okay. You're pretty sure this is some sort of like dropping, not like, dropping in the sense that it's,
It's not scat.
it's not scat, but just like maybe like something chipped off a woad.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So that gives us a sense that we're going in the right direction, but that doesn't necessarily help us. Is this something that's like that I can point out a direction to people, or does this just show us that we're on the right path?
It shows you're on the right path.
Okay.
And we'll go over, while you pick up that, we'll go over to Wake and Kenya. What do you do to try? I mean, you've already said that you're trying to pick up the scent again. Go ahead and make another perception check at advantage in your direwolf form.
Okay. Let's see here.
And Kenya, while he's doing that, just a general perception check, as I assume you're up higher than the rest.
Yeah.
It's a 17.
17.
I got perception. 19.
19. Okay. Wake, you come back to the point where the trail of the irony sweet smell completely stops. And with a 17 and your keen nose knows that it stopped for a reason. It came to an abrupt stop because it was completely cut. Like the trail was cut right there, as if something happened to that trail. But it should have continued on. You were following it very well, but something cut it short.
I want to investigate that spot thoroughly. Like, I want to dig at it. I want to try and see if I can feel anything.
Sure. Yeah.
What do I roll here, if anything?
This would be to spot a minute detail. I mean, investigation is what I go to.
You son of a bitch.
Sorry.
Okay, hold on. Oh, boy. 12.
12.
A 13 minus 1.
Okay.
Because I'm dumb.
All right. While you're digging, I am going to move over to Kenya's 19 perception. You, Kenya, are on a high branch above everybody else, kind of peering over what everybody's doing, trying to investigate the area. And a bit of movement catches your eye at eye level. It is high up in the tree, and you see feathers. You see, it was almost imperceptible to see this thing, but you see yourself, basically. You see another raven, and it is looking at you. And when you spot it, it turns its beak to the side, and it like directly looks at you with one of its eyes, and you can see a pink iris. You can see its eye is pink, but it's not albino like you.
She's gonna continue to stare at it, but like she's very ruffled, yeah.
The feathers.
Make an insight check.
That is a... My insight, hold on. 15?
15. You can tell that this bird is not your normal bird. It is making an assessment of you and your group on the ground before, like, it's appraising you and your group.
Mm-hmm.
After a long moment, it puffs up and gives you that a subtle, like, not really subtle, it tries to get your attention and the attention of your group. All of you hear a raven up ahead to the north give a little caw.
Kenya is definitely gonna caw in return and fly over to it.
It's going to short burst 2 calls to you. With your 15 insight, it's acknowledging that you are coming towards it and it wants you to follow.
She follows.
And as soon as before you even get go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. It's she's calling to get the others' attention that she's following something.
Wake, with your, was it 12 investigation? It is.
Yeah.
You don't really find anything before it's cut off, and you hear the caw from up above you, from Kenya, and another raven ahead. And before you can actually get up to it, Kenya, it starts flying northward. What is everybody else doing?
Dying.
Stop!
Oh, sorry. Everybody else got it.
Fuck.
I don't know. I don't know how I would know that this bird is.
I at least look up at Kenya when she caws. I don't know if that means I caught that she was following that other bird. But
Yeah.
I do see the other bird, and I'm like, oh, what's
Yeah,
that?
you see Kenya following another raven. That is not.
We see that. Okay.
Yeah, that is not Hugin. I assume Hugin is like close by, right?
Yeah, he's probably circling around a bit, looking as well,
Okay,
helping me look.
gotcha.
Being a burb.
So there's
Being a bird.
Hugin.
Oh, there he is.
Yep.
No, he's actually with everyone else. Just
Okay.
I think in the absence of information, roads would try and stick together. So if Kenya is going off, he would try and follow.
Okay.
Hey, Flower, come on! It looks like Kenya found a way.
Yeah, same for the flower will follow. Flower is not very perceptive and is relying on other people to know where they're going.
And
is that another bird?
For the record, Kenya's trying to fly slow enough, but also fast enough to keep up. So
Yeah. Actually, when you start following, you notice that the lead raven, this strange raven with the same eyes as you, but not albino, is dips down low enough to where the party can actually see Kenya and is following this other raven. So you all see this flight ahead of you. This
Oh my
chase.
god, I just realized that's not Hugin.
So you follow along, and it's another 10-minute of dash. Just sprint through the woods, following this raven. It is looking. You're up next to it, or at least close enough to it, to see that it does look back to make sure that you are keeping up and following. Eventually, you come to the point where you see a clearing ahead. I need everybody. Well, the moonlight shines through this clearing, and the more perceptive of everybody, I need passive perceptions.
28.
Passive.
Oh, no, not 28. Jesus Christ. Sorry.
Like
Mine
what?
says plus 7.
9. Oh, it's plus 9. Sorry. 19.
So yours
19?
is 17. So.
Oh, okay.
17? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
15.
15 for Rhodes.
13.
Okay. Anybody with a 14 or better sees it immediately. A body
Well, shit.
in the center of this clearing.
Told you guys.
And since the raven ahead of you is ahead of you, it alights onto this body and just kind of sits on it, not attempting to harm the body any further. But as I move everybody onto this map,
What does
this
the
is
body
what-
look like?
This is what you see. Wait, can you? Should. Oop. Nope. Flower and roads. Okay.
Class? Why is that the name of the map?
That's what I asked.
This is what you see as you enter it.
I don't
Lord-
see shit.
Oh, I'll bring up the drift globe for you. There you
This has never been
Standing
so
in the
prevalent in
dark, like,
Echo's life.
go.
I'm never taking a character without dark side again. This is fucking annoying. Oh my god. Okay.
Can you see it now?
Yes, I see it now.
Okay.
Oh my god. Is that?
Kenya would impulsively fly to her.
Okay.
Wake is direwolf bounding up to her.
Okay.
Yeah, Azira's walking over there too.
Just
You
give him a little
see,
trouble.
she is. Well, the sight that you see from her nose and her ears, blood trickling down the sides of her face and down her lips, down to her neck. And in the center of her open, like, V-neck area, like right below, like almost directly center chest, you see she has been marked in
Oh
the
my
shape
god, please. Okay.
shape of a hook.
What if it's not Priya? What if it's like another doppelganger or something? Right? Right? Like,
Does this smell like
Hoping?
But what if it is Priya? Help her!
I don't know what to do.
Heal her!
Okay.
Oh,
How-
right.
Yeah, I have spells that can do that. I'm going to do that.
Yes,
Spare
sir.
the dying.
As soon as you
That isn't it.
as soon as you surround her, the raven hops off her body and like
Grabs a
scuffles
squeak toy.
Scuffle is away here. I don't have another Raven token, but it does like back off.
You want to borrow Hugin?
Sure. I'll borrow Hugin. It's like right there. It's like on the ground.
While Zira does her thing, Rhodes is looking around us warily. I think he's gonna make some magic stones.
Okay. You make some magic stones. All right. Spare
Does
the
he
dying.
know-
You feel the spell take effect, but it doesn't wake her up.
Flower will pour. I have one. I don't even have a healing potion, but I have one of those little like shot of health things
Yeah.
that I think are what is it like
Go
a
ahead.
1d4 plus 2 or something like that. I don't remember. I don't have
It's
it
a
written
half.
down.
It's a half a healing potion. It's
Yeah.
5.
It's a half.
5 hit points.
So five hit points. I'm gonna tip that into her mouth.
Okay.
Sin.
uh, Priya, you come too.
I think as soon as like the healing takes effect, when she comes to screaming.
Like Bella waking up from a
Yeah,
dream.
like Bella
Perfect.
in Twilight.
Oh my
Perfect.
god.
She's shrieking.
Rhodes screams too.
I think
That would be scary.
Flower expected this, and it just kind of puts a hand on her.
Ah.
Actually, I don't think tries to touch her, but just kind of like is low down, and she has her little flame cantrip in her hand, just kind of for light for comfort. And she goes, "Shh, it's okay. You're alive. It's okay. It's okay." And she kind of
Is
looks
this real?
she looks at Wolfwake and is like, "Come on, come here."
Wake is looking around. Wake is paying attention to our surroundings to make sure no one's approaching.
Make a perception check. Everybody
Can you-
looking out
Can you
to
still
make
bird?
a. Okay.
Can I?
Uh,
Can I? Do I recognize that the hook is clearly the hook sisters? Can I roll Arcana to see if there's been any sort of magic to that mark? Is there any sort of fey stuff, fey hag bullshit that I recognize?
You can try.
Hey, hack bullshit.
25.
25, 23.
Almost a
24.
natural.
24.
Thrym is kind of keeping an eye on the Raven thing and standing between it and Priya,
Okay.
staring at it.
It just
Is
stares
that a
back.
perception check? Or
To just keep an eye out for this raven, or
and in that general direction, I guess.
you can insight check it, see if it's intending to do something.
19.
Okay, lots of rolls here. Wake, your perception, what was it again?
25.
25. 23. Okay.
24.
Wake and Rhodes, you do see something at the edges of this clearing, but we'll get to that in a moment, as I want to deal with the Arcana check. The healing potion that you gave normally would heal this wound in the center of her chest. It has not done a thing.
Okay.
You can guess that maybe something has been done to Priya.
But she did at least come back up to health. Like the healing potion did make her conscious again, so
It did.
clearly the healing had some effect.
Yes.
Like did I sense that it had like the potion had like half effect? Like what?
It appears Priya got all 5 hit points, but this wound remains undisturbed.
Time for Zephora. I'm just gonna make it
Yeah.
look prettier. No more wound. I know
Okay.
you're still hurting, but like
You
But
try.
it doesn't look
Mine.
bad.
You try to make this prettier, and it does nothing.
Your
Oh my
staff also
God.
has lesser
Oh, yeah.
restoration on it.
Why don't I do that? Why don't I use my staff?
You could try it.
Go ahead and hit the lesser restoration. I want to read the spell.
It does
So
things like
you
Uh,
can't do it.
poison,
Uh,
blindness.
What?
Is
I don't know. I hit the staff.
Am I able to do an Arcana
Am I
check
supposed
on
to
the wound?
do? Did you say do lesser restoration instead?
yeah, you can you? Yeah, just hit lesser restoration.
She's saying she's casting it from the staff, so she doesn't have it prepared.
Yeah,
But
that's
the
fine.
spell says, "Do you touch a creature and cure one disease or condition afflicting it? The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned."
You notice that the lesser restoration does not have the capability to restore this wound. It is something different. With a 19 insight, the raven is no ordinary raven, Grim. It is.
Wow.
You see that this raven kind of acts similar to Hugin in a way. Like it's been.
So I realize this is a familiar.
Yeah. It's a face.
And
It's a face spirit.
and presumably someone's watching through it.
You see its iris or its eye is like this cherry blossom pink. Back to the perception checks. Wake and Rhodes, you see on the outskirts bark that is protruding out from trees. But what's different about this bark is that it moves freely. It moves with, and you see little beady eyes kind of just watching you closely. This is what you see. Well,
Yeah.
maybe.
Do I?
Maybe. One's close enough. Can you see that?
No.
To the
Yes.
bottom left.
Oh
Wake?
yes, I do see
I
that.
can see both of them. Yeah.
I got a 19, by the way, on my Arcana check.
Arcana, you get the same information as Flower did. It is something has been done to Priya, and it's concerning Fey magic.
Can I insight check this tree boy?
You may do so, yes.
He looks like a nice guy.
23.
These look,
He's cute.
these look like the
Okay.
guys that they were riding in the Lord of the Rings.
Uh-huh.
That's a
Ents. Three
the
Ents.
ents.
They you see a
See, I know stuff.
You see a
Yeah.
curiosity. They are keeping their distance, and they don't look aggressive. That's what you get with the 23 insight. They seem curious.
We're being watched.
We're by what?
I don't know.
Wait,
His
is
eyes out
growling and
there.
pointing.
Still a direwolf.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Can Flower see one of these woad boys?
Shall I bring you here?
Water boy.
Yeah. As soon as Wake points it out, you can see a woad.
Okay, this matches the bark that I found. What were you gonna do, Kenya? I don't want to step on anybody.
Oh, no, nothing. I wasn't doing anything. Go ahead.
I think she commented on the water dog.
Yeah.
Flower's gonna look and make eye contact with this woad and say in Sylvan, "Are you here to hurt us? Are you working with the Hook sisters?"
You see, as soon as you speak Sylvan in its tongue, it kind of hides a little bit better, like dips behind the tree a little bit further, and then like peeks out.
Okay, do I have a sense of
Remains silent.
do I have a sense of what these creatures like would like in the Feywild? Are they into things that are shiny, the way that a lot of Fey creatures are? Are they into like gifts that like affect their root structure? Do I know anything about that? I want to try to convince it to talk to me.
Okay. Make a persuasion check. Just since you spoke in its language.
It's not terrible. 17.
17. Seeing that you're not intending to harm it, it kind of slowly works its way in front of this tree and just kind of takes one step out. Not many people come this far deep.
We have a mission. We're here to try to do something about the hags. Did you come through the portal?
No.
Is this your home then?
Yes.
Okay. How do you feel about those hags? They seem like they've only been here for a few weeks.
I have not heard of any hags in this material realm that we reside in.
There is a portal not far. And I think that they recently took our friend here. She kind of motions with her head to Priya. Blood hags. They could be a big problem for the environment.
Not our environment. They do not use anything to destroy where we live.
So I imagine you don't like the loggers then, huh?
We have migrated northward to stay away from their axes.
Understandable. Okay. Is there any information that you can give me about anything that's been happening here recently, or are you just hiding?
We were curious as to why a body is in this area.
That would be the hags.
She has been asleep for a long time.
We're glad that she's only asleep. How long is long? I mean, because how long were we traveling? We were traveling for like an hour?
About
GM?
45 minutes.
45 minutes. Okay, that doesn't seem like very long. How long? Longer than a day? She didn't disappear very long ago for us.
Time passing is not what we keep track of.
Okay, Flower nods sagely. Feywild is weird. Time is weird in the Feywild. Okay, she in gratitude she will use shape water from her water skin and kind of scatter it over this woad's roots.
Make another persuasion check.
Okay. That's less good. Only a 10.
We were concerned that this Vale location had reopened.
It seems so. It seems like that's how the hags got through.
We were concerned that this figure had made its way here from our home.
No, she was taken. She's with
Wait.
us.
Wake will drop direwolf form when
Mhm.
when this conversation goes for 10 minutes. Wake will realize that there's not a threat and will stop being a direwolf.
Okay.
Can I say I've also offered Priya a potion of healing?
Okay.
Just a little more health.
You appreciate that.
Yo, Priya,
Thank you.
pour a little bit on that weird winged. Maybe it'll heal.
What happened? Are you all right?
This is real, right? You're
This
all
is real.
here?
We're here.
I'm not sure what happened. I
One
woke up
minute we
here.
were fighting off the Darklings, and then you were gone.
I was just keeping an eye out. I guess I didn't do it very well. I saw them. When I woke up in this space, there were 3 of them.
Who?
The hags.
Oh dear.
3?
There were 3 of them.
Oh.
Did you see this bird here as well?
She looks at the bird.
It looks back at you. A black raven with a cherry blossom pink eye or eyes.
No, I don't remember.
Who are you? What do you want?
Bird!
Show yourself.
The bird caws very softly. And then, yep. And then looks through your legs at Priya, kind of assessing. Are you
Rude.
up on your feet, or are you still
She's
sitting?
on the ground still. She has not stood up.
Okay. Are you like sat up? Like are
Yeah,
you-
she's not like she's lying on her back.
You see the bird, seeing that you're all right, gives off 2 short trills, and then takes flight to the northeast, away from you all.
Thrym is gonna send out Hugin to follow.
Okay. Are you going to peer through Hugin's eyes?
Yeah.
All right. We'll get back to his chase in a second. I want to kind of go to other things here. What is everybody else doing?
Well, as these woads are kind of creeping in a little bit further, I think Rhodes had kind of talked to.
But Flowers, are they okay?
'Cause he can't
Yeah,
understand.
Flower. Yeah, I think Flower gets deep in this conversation with this woad and kind of holds up a hand. I don't know if that conversation is done yet, but she'll look over at Wake having turned back into himself and look over at Rhodes and kind of switch back into calm and say, they don't want to hurt us. They're just curious. I think they were worried that Priya was the reason that there's a portal. I told them that she's not.
All right.
Okay.
Just this.
My brethren would like to see you depart from our home.
Okay. Guys, we should leave so they can have this glade be undisturbed. They would prefer us to leave.
Oh, all right.
Can you stand?
I think so.
Let me help you up.
We do not intend to stay.
Yeah, Flower will relay this, and kind of like bow low the way that she might bow to an archfey, and we'll say, okay, we want to get our friend back on her feet, and we'll go, okay?
Good.
Yeah, Flower will quickly lead the way out of the glade.
Okay.
All right. Come on.
We leave.
All right. Retreating away from the Woads and back southward toward Andale. It's going to be a little bit of a hike. You sprinted here. You're a good few miles from town.
Oh, Jakini land on me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh,
Flower will nudge Zira to get the broom out, to at least so that Priya can be cheered up and like know that her broom is not gone.
Oh, good call. By the way, Priya, we got your broom. And she pulls it out and gives it to her.
I think Priya looks like so relieved that she's holding it again. She like clings to it like a lifeline. I didn't find it when I woke up. I'm glad you grabbed
I
it.
had it, yeah. As soon as I saw it on the floor, I was like, oh no. So I grabbed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awkward question. Do you know what they did to you?
Not really.
Did they say anything?
Yes. Are we going back to the town?
But they said something.
When we get back to the town, we should get our things and leave.
Why?
If they're too strong. They don't want us messing with them anymore. They told me to tell you that. They'll kill us.
Well,
They'll kill you. They'll kill anyone you care about. It's not worth it. This is just a job.
Insight check?
Yeah, you can,
17?
I rolled to class.
well, I'm gonna let you take care of this, Priya.
She seems terrified. Like she's trembling. She can't make eye contact with anyone. She's just not in a great place.
Kenya's gonna
Alright.
hop off her shoulder and turn back into a person.
Okay.
You're gonna be okay. We have you.
Only if we leave. If we
Flower
do not, we will all die.
Flower is nodding next to Priya as she says, I think we should report this in and tell them that we found that it's not just one witch, it's a coven of hags, and they should send a stronger team to come and deal with this.
all right. I can do that. Do you know much about the mark that Priya has?
I mean, I rolled Arcana on it earlier and basically just noticed, and I rolled pretty high, and I just noticed that it wasn't healing. Do I know anything else about what that hag mark might mean?
Can Trim help check it out?
Yeah.
Everyone look at my tits.
Like, will it only like go away if we kill the hags or something like that?
Either of you have guidance if you need it.
26
Thrym, go for it.
Okay.
plus guidance.
This mark.
30.
30.
Yeah. This
Oh,
mark that won't heal in the shape of some significance to the hag that created it, or the hags that created it, This is definitely some sort of curse. And physical, it's the physical manifestation of a curse.
I believe this is a curse.
Can you identify the type of curse?
Can I?
Curses can be a wide range of things. It could, a curse can make you weaker. It can make you less charismatic, less dexterous. There's a lot of different curses. So you would need to. It's going to take more than just an Arcana check. You're going to have to talk to Priya and find out, like, what was said when they were cursing her, that sort of stuff.
Right. I think we better keep moving back to town.
With a 30 Arcana check, does he have a sense of how to break the curse? Does he know anything about breaking it?
Good question.
Very powerful, like, spellcasters can attempt to break a curse. Druids sometimes can attempt to break a curse. It's either going to cost you guys some sort of ritual or high level spell with some materials that you may be able to find in town or in Aegis. It's going to take some research and some digging to find out what nature this curse is. With a Arcana of 30, you would also know that the person that, or the creature that performed this curse, if they were to perish, that is one way you can break a curse.
I relay this information.
Yeah, I don't think there's much we can do here.
No,
What do you
I
mean?
agree.
We can kill the hag that put it on her.
Absolutely
Right.
not. We're not going back. I don't want to see them
Let's
again. We
not-
cannot handle this.
Let's
We
not
can't
talk
kill
about. Let's
three
not
of
talk
them.
about that.
We-
Let's
we
not
need-
talk about that tonight. At the very least, we need to get some sleep. We
I
need
think
for it
we-
not to be dark. We need for it not to be so dark outside.
Yeah, what she
Let's
said.
get Priya home.
All right.
Does Hugin see anything yet?
Oh shit! Bird v bird.
Hugin vision.
Yeah, we've been leading him along.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Whole time.
familiar. V for-
Okay. What's the distance on how far
120 feet.
you can see through a familiar?
You can see through it fucking forever, but you can no longer communicate with it after 120 feet. So, like, if it leaves 120 feet, you can still see through it, but you can't tell it what to do. And if you separate your vision from it, it stays separated.
Okay. Hugin follows this raven for above the treetops for a long while. I'll say that eventually you notice that the raven, like, all of a sudden when it gets to a certain point, it just poofs into thin air. Like you see a little bit of fey lights as like spread out from where it poofs, and it's gone. But it was headed northeast.
Since I can't give Ugin a different command, I imagine he would keep flying in the same direction to see if he lost the trail
Okay.
for a little bit.
Okay.
Otherwise, he would probably return back.
All right. I just need a time frame of how long he travels for.
Like while following the bird or after?
Like after.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. Um, he does eventually come back, and he tells you, through feeling that the familiar disappeared over the trees to the northeast.
Seems we didn't get much information, but there's something to the northeast. Thank you, Hugin. Thank you, class, for that rendition.
You're welcome. It is an hour back to Andale, but you make it there safely. And you have been given rooms at the Fallen Logger. When you return, it is the middle of the night. And Alexander is posted up in a chair, like hiked back against the wall, and you see he's napping, waiting for some sort of return. As soon as
Flower pays zero attention and just like kind of like is trying to get them up the stairs and not to engage with anybody.
as soon as you all enter and like make some loud footsteps in the Fallen Logger, you see Alexander starts awake. Oh, hello. Whoa. You all look worse for wear.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
It's been a rough night.
Okay.
Where's your first aid supplies?
We got him here, behind the counter. And he goes behind, like, quickly gets up, goes behind the counter, gets a healer's kit, and puts it on the counter for you.
She takes it. She'll escort Priya to her room.
He also, like, pulls a few keys and sets them on the table.
Also grabbed.
The rooms are nice. They're spacious. There's beds. There's clean linens. Do you all find separate rooms, or would you like one big room?
I think one big room makes
One
a lot of
big room.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
The separate rooms question is such a difficult thing with this party anyway, because there's so many of us.
Sure. One of the keys is to a large, like, adventurer's type room with like 8 beds. There's not too many amenities, but it's there for you. One big room with enough beds for you all to sleep comfortably. It's the middle of the night.
Before we go to bed, Rhodes will use the Stone of Far Speech to report into Aegis about saying that there is 3 hags. He'll say Hook Sisters, and Priya has been cursed. Any assistance would be helpful. Something along those lines.
You hear Listry get on the other end. I'll send any information I have on the Hook sisters. And in the morning, please message back with what kind of curse. And we'll try to help.
Right. Okay. He'll tell everybody that he contacted Aegis and that they want to know what kind of curse it is so that they can help.
Kenny's going to be applying first aid medicine and shit to Priya's.
Clean up my bloody nose.
Yeah.
Okay. You try to... Uh-huh.
We'll figure it out in the morning. Something feels off.
Do you try to heal the mark?
I think we've all realized it won't heal. She's probably taking care of my other scrapes and bruises.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Easy enough
If
to
anything,
do.
she covers it with a wrap because it looks messy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there... Quite a few have elected to go to bed. Is there anything here in this room you'd like to talk about before going to bed, or is it just exhaustion and everybody goes to bed?
Go ahead, Kenya.
Kenya will probably stay awake with Priya if she can't sleep.
Yeah, I think she really struggles to sleep.
Yeah.
Like if she closes her eyes, this will be fake, a lie, and she'll wake up in the woods again.
Yeah.
What was Flower gonna say?
Flower looks solemn kind of the whole way back. And before we kind of like, and seems to be like really insistent that like we got to get through the night. This will be better in the morning. Like when it's not dark outside, it'll be easier to talk about this. But she does look at Priya seriously, kind of like after, while Kenya is kind of bandaging her up. And she says, I know the dreams are bad, but they're just dreams. Okay? It's
What
bad.
if this is a dream?
It's not a dream. There's usually not light, at least in my experience. It's not a dream. And it might take you a while to believe that, but let the fact that you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're not going to be there reinforce for you that it's not a dream. It will look better in the light, I promise.
Okay.
Kenya's going to lift up Priya's wrist and remind her of the bracelet. If this was a dream, this wouldn't exist.
I think Priya would give you a small smile and just nod. You're right.
Unseelie creatures, they thrive in the darkness. It will look better in the morning.
She nods.
Flower goes to bed.
I think Echo rolled something.
Wake looks like he wants to say something, but he doesn't. And he just lays back on the cot or bed or whatever it is. So don't worry about it.
I have all the worries.
But I don't know. Would an insight check get him to loosen his lips?
No.
Well, you already know he looked like he was gonna say something.
Yeah,
I think
but
you might have to
like,
just ask him.
alright.
Like, what's your problem?
Yeah.
Would a stealth check make him loosen his lips?
It would if you opened his mouth stealthily.
Wait, can I try? Never
Go
Stick
mind.
my
for
fingers
it.
in your mouth. He'll bite you.
That wouldn't be fun.
You tried?
What's
Mhm.
on your mind, Wake?
With it, he's like looking at the ceiling, like flat on his back, and he just says, "Nothing that'll help."
Maybe we should have someone keep watch.
I'll keep watch.
I'll grab second shift then.
Rhodes can help with any shift. He actually took like half a nap when we were back at the woodshed or whatever.
So Kenya's going to stay up for half a shift with Priya, and then she's going to kind of pass out because she's also very tired. I rolled a 2. So
Oh, Wendy.
Thrym is going to be watching, like, for intruders as much as he's watching Priya.
Don't perceive me.
Yeah, I think Rhodes really only watches Priya, and he's just kind of like
Stop
he
perceiving
looks
me.
he looks worried, like his brow is furrowed, and he's just kind of like worried. He doesn't really know what to do.
Priya feels stared at.
Yeah, I feel well watched.
Yeah, Thrym will also be working through the night to kind of try to figure out what's going on. See if he can pick anything up.
Bless you. Twice.
Thanks.
All right. So, who all is staying up? Flower.
Flower will stay up.
Thrym is
Okay.
up for one shift.
Okay.
Wake can't.
Flower and Thrym can stay up. for
Kenya's
first
up
watch.
for literally half a shift, which would probably I'd vouch for the first shift. She was just tired,
Mm-hmm.
but she
Wake.
wants to stay near Priya.
All right. Wake cannot stay up. Is that what
If
you
he
said?
does, he'll take an exhaustion point because he was up for the entire bait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Zira?
Zira, like, Wake has been awake, so she's also, like, exhausted and now emotionally exhausted because of everything. But she's not the type of person to, like, talk about her feelings. So she's just very quiet, reserved, and, like,
Mm-hmm.
to herself.
Okay. Eventually, all of you find sleep at one point or another.
There is a point, if you're not going to make us roll for shifts or anything like that,
No.
before dawn, who would have like the last watch? Unless everyone fell asleep by then.
If
Yes.
nobody else wants to be awake at that time, Rhodes will be awake.
I honestly don't think Priya would sleep that night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But she would notice before like the light, it's like the blue, the faint blue of the sun, not yet there, but it's not night anymore. She would look at Rhodes and would just kind of quietly say, "Would you give me some privacy?"
Yeah, he just kind of nods, and he will turn around and look out the window. Is there
Sure,
a window?
that's fine. She goes to Wake's bunk
Mm-hmm.
and climbs in. Like where if he's probably facing the wall, she'll like grasp at his back and hopefully jostle him enough that he wakes up.
Yeah, dude, he's got a passive perception on that.
Yeah, so he feels her get in.
Yeah.
And when she like feels him tense in wakefulness, he would hear her like whisper behind him, "We have to leave."
He would half roll over to look at her. You didn't sleep a wink, did you?
No.
Why? Not why didn't you sleep? Why? Why do we have to leave?
Because of what they'll do if we don't.
Freya, I want to make them pay for what they did to you. I want to make them pay for all the fear they've instilled in everyone that's been here.
We can't do it, Wake.
Why?
They're too strong. And they told me exactly what they'd do if we didn't. And I can't have that happen. The only thing that I'm grateful for is that they didn't take you like they took me.
Do you know
Because
what
you wouldn't have lived.
Do you know what I'm so angry about?
No.
They took you, and I didn't see it. They took you right out from under my nose. And it's my job, pay attention, to watch out for everyone on the team. And they took you right out from where I was looking. And they hurt you. What makes you so sure that we can't crush them as they deserve? Working together, coming up with a plan, and being smart about it.
Because any fraction of a chance that you'll get hurt isn't worth it.
Roll a persuasion check.
I can certainly try. 18.
Ah.
Wake like thumps his head into like the half pillow and like halfway into the wall. I won't make you any promises. But if it makes more sense for us to leave, we leave. But if there's an opportunity where we can take the fight to them and make them pay for it, that's the right thing to do.
She'll sigh, but nod, because at least he said that they could leave. And she'll just huddle closer and not say anything else.
Just try and close your eyes for a minute.
She does. And probably passes out immediately. Which is funny because it's the watch's ending.
Well, when that happens, as soon as Wake recognizes like the breathing of sleep, he just wraps an arm around you.
Oh, this is
And
happening.
Rose is just whistling.
Well, this is happening. Zira, you fall into a deep slumber, exhausted and expended from the day. And the darkness that surrounds you is absolute.
Oh shit.
but it's not frightening.
Okay.
It's you feel a comfort radiating around you as the shadow encompasses you in this dreamlike state.
Ooh, sounds comfy.
The next thing you see in your slumber in this dream, you see a dark moon, just the outline, just above your vision. It is black and absolute, just as similar as the darkness that wraps around you. And then dark purplish stars begin winking into existence. What's your Zira, what's your mind thinking about as you sleep in this dream?
This sounds really pretty, and like maybe I'm having a religious experience because this sounds like all of my magic kind of stuff.
Are you thinking about what transpired tonight? And
I was when I fell asleep.
perfect.
It was very heavy on my mind when I fell asleep.
All right. You hear a low voice, comforting, and yet beautifully dark.
Mm-hmm.
This is all yours, my child, and we will not allow these creatures any mercy. The night is ours, and I want you to destroy them. When the
Destroy
moment,
who?
when the moment comes, you will be empowered. When the moment comes, I will be by your side. For the dark and the shadow is my domain. You will be my weapon. And the darkness and the moon and the stars wink out one by one. And you find a restful, long rest. Eventually, all of you, if you choose to have one, can hit a long rest.
This is who I imagine that voice sounded like.
What?
If you know the actor, I put
I
it in
def-
general.
I do not.
Oh,
I am gonna take a short rest though.
you'd know it if you heard her voice. I'm pretty sure she does voice acting too.
All right. So,
Oh my god, I rolled horrible.
I know her. She's wonderful. Yeah, that.
Yeah, she
tracks.
did the voice of the dragon in that. I can't remember what
Perfect.
the movie is.
Perfect. She's in the Expanse. She's great.
Yeah, she's also in the Expanse. Yeah.
Well, um, yes, you all get a long rest and wake up pretty late in the morning, as it was a long night and most of you were pretty exhausted. But the daylight shines through the window or the curtains, and a new day begins.
While Priya is napping for a short rest, and when nobody else is around, Wake will like whisper, but he leans over to whisper straight into the mark on her chest, into the hook. It's not for anybody else to hear. He's really whispering quietly.
Okay.
He whispers, "If you can hear me, you night wretch, I shall make you fear the water." As her moods can shift from calm to wild, from gentle breeze to tempest roiled. You will regret this. And then he pets Priya's hair and stands up.
In the back of your mind, you can almost hear a subtle cackling.
He
That
smiles.
sounds deep and far away. All right. What's the plan for today?
Echo, there's a moth in here and I'm scared.
Oh my god.
Zero's gonna fuck
Okay, we deal with
everybody
that
up when
first.
the time comes, apparently.
I mean, does she share this with anybody?
She'll tell you guys. Oh my god, I had like such a weird dream last night, but it was kind of empowering.
Oh,
Hey.
what was it about?
I don't know, but I feel better.
Well, I'm glad somebody's feeling better.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Reds.
Yeah. So, how is everybody feeling? Are we running? Are we going back to Aegis?
I assume that was the plan.
We should probably check in with them again.
Yes, they said they'd be sending. Well, they want to know what kind of curse it is.
Hey.
Um,
Priya,
Yes?
how do you feel about kittens?
The tiny versions of the thing Wake turns into sometimes?
Hey.
They're cute.
Hmm. How do you feel
What?
about this town?
It's a cursed land of desolation, and we should leave.
What was the
Interesting.
it doesn't seem all that bad.
Did you were you going to get something out of that?
I was wondering if your fear was somehow tied to the curse at all.
Are you not afraid of the hags? I don't think you have to be cursed to be afraid of them. In fact, you should be.
I'm cautious, but it seems like Listri thinks we could take them.
She has not met them.
Well, what you did meet them? Well, what sort of impression did you get? And what did they say?
They told me to stop meddling, or they would kill everyone I've ever cared or loved. loved.
Oh, good. So I'm safe.
There were 3 of them. One did most of the talking. One of them is tired compared to the other 2. I got their names.
You got their names? They
I
told
don't
you
know
their
if
names?
that will help.
Yes. Yes, that's helpful.
Hi, Bash.
Sorry. My internet just lagged, and
It's still lagging a
then
little bit.
Yeah, it's a
suddenly I heard
laggy.
Flower talking. What did you say?
Flower's listening intently and is like they give you their names or what they call themselves. That's important. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me.
Yeah,
Should
sorry, my
should
internet
we take a
really
small
lagged
break
out for a
here,
second.
I think
class?
we should go on a break.
Hello?
Take a
Yeah,
small break to get this sorted out.
yeah. Let's do a.
Fuck you!
Hello?
Oh boy, even echo.
She just reconnected.
Oh,
I will,
jeez.
Fucking
I will note also, guys, it is about midnight for me, so like I'm gonna start to be like lower energy as we go. I can maybe last until like 1:30 at the very most.
well, we
Okay.
could also find a good stopping point soon and just be like, well, that was a short session.
I mean, I'm happy to take a break. I'm just saying I'm not gonna have a whole lot in me after the break. And
We
can
don't have to do a break. It does seem that the internet came back now. So
Okay.
Yeah. We can I think finding a stopping place soonish
Yeah.
would be fine.
I
Before we
some of
make
us
any
are ready
big
to stop playing.
Flower is asking about the names of the hags.
Yes,
She's
okay. If I recall correctly, I'm gonna type them in the chat so you can see them as I read them because you will not know what the fuck I'm saying. They said their names were Kaifila, Desuela, and Efala.
Right, if they're good hags, that's just what they call themselves. That's not what their names are. But if they were stupid enough to give you their names, that means that we have some power over them.
They didn't introduce themselves, that's what they called each other.
Okay.
Although, we'll say they did expect me to live, so if you think they wouldn't have let me know their names because it mattered, they probably didn't tell me the real ones.
Uh-oh.
We're losing you again.
Yeah.
And Bash is
Baby.
so upset.
God damn it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there was an angry meowner.
Yeah, bashes.
Hello?
Bashes.
I just heard
Hello?
Bash.
Can you hear us?
Maybe hang up and then get back in.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey guys, seems like
Hello.
Fuck you!
hello.
Okay.
My Wi-Fi just hates me right now. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, great. Awesome.
Okay.
This is going awesome.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay.
Hi!
Ah,
Hello.
Sorry.
I always tell you when things are disconnecting, that's not the time for jokes. We're trying to figure things out,
Sorry.
and you're making things hard.
What's happening?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. What were you
Okay.
saying before?
I don't know.
That they
Names.
wanted you alive.
Yes. That's basically it.
Okay.
That they
So you
probably didn't
weren't
tell me their
sure?
real names because if they expected me to be alive.
Um, why would they bother to threaten us if they could kill us?
I don't know.
They wouldn't.
I
To
feel like
maximize
they.
pain and terror.
But why?
Because that's what they do.
Would you mind if I take a closer look at your
Tits.
wound?
You
I'm not the one
can.
whispering to it, Echo.
Hey, little mommy, will let me
I
whisper
got
to
my
your
point across.
tits. Yeah, yes, you can, Trim.
Okay, Thrym is gonna try to figure out what kind of curse this is.
Okay.
Possibly is. Can I identify Priya?
Hello.
Yeah. I believe it put the identify into chat. Just to read it.
Also, any
Um,
references to the item should be swapped out with the person.
It-
Just
Object, Priya.
Can
yeah,
I?
just
Am I allowed to change the spells during a long rest?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
you are.
As a
okay.
cleric, you have access to your full spell list. You can change it
Okay.
around every time you
How do I
rest.
do that?
In D&D Beyond.
Because I
Prepare some-
wanted to do it right before we,
prepare
like when
others.
we rested, but I didn't know how.
in D&D Beyond, you can change out your leveled spells, not your cantrips, but there's no
So I have
really.
to go back to like edit.
If
No.
you go to the spells tab,
Uh-huh.
right at the top of your list, you'll see a little button that says
Manage
manage spells.
spells.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And you can click down on your add spells, and I believe you can kind of unclick the ones that you have learned and then click a different
It just says prepared or unprepared. So unprepare a spell that you don't need anymore, and prepare one that you.
Right, yeah, prepared spells. Yeah, that's how it works.
And in the forge, it's the same thing. It's the little cog wheel next to them shows if they're prepared or unprepared. So you can just unclick and click the ones you want to use.
Yeah.
I know I have it. Why can't I find it? There it is. Okay, where's one that I could get rid of?
Okay.
Well, that's up to you.
Yes, identifying.
Identify.
I mean, if it's allowing you to pick more than one, then you're good to go. It'll stop letting you pick them if you're out of allowable spells. Like, you've leveled up a few times, you probably have the ability to have more spells, and that's what you're seeing.
No, I'm full. I was just trying to get rid of one spell in particular, but I can't see it, so I'm just gonna get rid of a different one.
Okay.
You can't do it with cantrips.
I know. I'm not trying to.
It might be one of her like class given
Always prepared spells.
where it's like always prepared. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of my always prepared spells.
Yeah. There you go.
But now I want to do it, and now I don't see it in my list. There it is. Bam.
Ruggle buzz.
I want to detect magic on her thing.
On my tits.
Okay.
Yeah, on the titties.
You identify a spell that is affecting this, well, Priya. And you know
This
Priya, yes. You know that this is a combination of bestow curse.
A what curse?
It is
Bestow.
Yeah.
The spell is called bestow curse.
The spell is called bestow curse.
Just like I said.
Asbestos curse.
It's actually multiple curses
Oh,
wrapped into one. So, you know that these can last, depending on the spell level, last longer than 8 hours or 24 hours or
Hey.
forever until
Jesus.
dispelled. It depends on how powerful they wanted to curse Priya.
do I know how high this is? Like, do I know this is gonna last forever or 24 hours?
You
or...
with detect magic, it seems like you get a powerful necromancy from it.
Ooh, okay.
And the identify?
You know the spell that is affecting her.
I know the bestow
Right.
curse. I know that it's multiple curses in one. I know that it's necromancy magic.
But it doesn't tell him anything about like what stats are being like what kind of thing is being cursed.
I will
Thank you.
say no, but you know that it's a couple of conditions
Okay. Oh
according
my god.
according to the spell. At least
We need to get her to Listry. I think there's so much going on here. And then I tell everybody about the bestow magic and all that stuff.
Thrym knows like what kind of spell it is. Zira, you know it is strong necromancy. That it's
okay.
it's a spell definitely upcasted.
Just taking all the credit. It's
Yeah, I
fine.
was taking all the credit. Thank you.
So
I
is
didn't
that
know you guys have a hive mind.
that's sort of the culmination of what we can figure out about it by
Mhm.
ourselves?
Yeah.
Okay. After that, Rhodes would report back to Listry that it's of its bestow curse of multiple curses and upcast or whatever at a higher level and necromancy based.
All right. I will try my best to send you the proper spell to remove it. However, it is going to take a combined effort to cast it. It will take some time, possibly by tomorrow or the end of the day. At this moment, there is a knock on the door, and you hear Alexander's voice.
Who is it?
Good morning. Something arrived for you at the front door.
All right.
That was
Oh
quick.
yeah, hand it over.
Here.
Hey.
And he knocked on the door. The door's still closed, but as soon as you open it, he hands you what looks
Thank
to be like
you.
a leather artist like sheath, something with paper inside of it. It's small.
A scroll case?
Scroll case. That's what it is.
Wow!
I couldn't find
It's
the word. I'm sorry.
It's
A
the
kind
case
of
file.
leather portfolio in a cylinder shape.
Yeah. But he hands it over, and who opens it? Who is the first to read it?
I believe
Give it to
that
Grim.
might be for me.
Mm.
What do you mean? I'm the one who requested it, but yeah, we can look at it together. I think
Sorry,
it's for all of
got
us.
ahead of myself.
Yeah, we'll open it and look at it together. He'll spread out the paperwork over a table.
Okay. It is as soon as you open it and take the paper out, it is not a spell scroll.
Yeah.
Grim is visibly disappointed.
Yeah, this should be the information about the Hook sisters that they could find.
Yes, it is. At the very top is a small note from Listry. It is a transcribed parchment, basically, of all the information that she could find on the Hook sisters. And basically, the note at the top says, "This is all I could find. It comes from a journal of one Higgin Spinishine."
Aww.
Fucking knew it.
And
That's so lame.
That's all it says. That's the whole entry.
Hook sister, so lame.
Basically, it's the transcribed part of it is it lists what is known as the Hook sisters in quotations. Their names are their names
Put it in general.
Are Kaifila, Desula,
Yeah.
Eafla.
Falafel.
Eafla.
Falafel.
Waffle.
Kaifila, Desuela, Efala. Uh,
Do they mean anything in like Sylvan? Is there any does that tell us anything about them?
nope, they're just names.
I bet you they mean meanie, rude, and cheddar.
Cheddar.
Yeah, follows cheddar.
it marks out it's like shorthand notes basically, but they are transcribed directly from this journal. Basically it lists their names, it says like where they usually are located, which is southern south of the border of Arborus. um, and at the very bottom it says uh, destroyed on material plane.
Ah,
What?
is there like a date entry for when this happened?
There is a date for destroyed on material plane, and it says 5 years ago.
Ah. Oh, it looks like they were here before, but they were defeated. But I guess they didn't. It didn't stick. You said something about sometimes creatures that are killed here but are from somewhere else don't really die, right?
Who said that?
Oh,
Somebody. It was when we were talking.
we were talking about the shadow creatures, right?
Yes, yeah, the shadow creatures. We fought them before, and they yeah. If you don't kill them where they're from, it's kind of like those that stone too. If you can't destroy it unless it's in the shadow fell sort of thing.
Hey,
So I guess they were killed here before, but they came back.
does it say how they were defeated?
Does it? I don't
Nope.
think it does.
It's
Yeah,
just like a transcribed journal entry.
yeah. Not a lot here really. Just about what happened, the names, and that they were defeated.
It does say like next to their names, like blood hags,
Mm-hmm.
um, and like uh, in Sylvan, there is another like section that, and I didn't say it because you couldn't read it, but
Right.
there is something in Sylvan.
It would point that out to Flower.
Flower
There's a
will.
yeah. There's a bit here in Sylvan. I think this is Sylvan.
What does it
Um,
say?
it says in Sylvan, dangerous and territorial. Um, love their curses, and that's it.
Which is, of course, the author's commentary that he quite enjoys their curses.
Yeah, Flower will relay this. Flower isn't sure why this. She's. I don't understand why this bit is in Sylvan. Maybe that's just the this particular wizard. Maybe that's their first language. Um, Dangerous and territorial and prone to cursing. All stuff that we know already.
All right. Well, we do know they were defeated before though, so they must be able to be defeated again. That's a good sign.
But it probably also means that they are not on the material plane.
Eh,
Actually,
well, they could return. No, I think they could return.
They must be. They must be if they must have been here because we've seen them act here. But it seems like what this is saying is that they were defeated. They were on the material plane before, and someone defeated them. And then they had to go back to the Feywild for a while, and then they must have gotten out again.
oh, I see.
Yeah. Um.
Priya,
Yes.
Is there anything in particular that they said would happen?
Um, they would take body parts, organs for their rituals.
Specifically from our men, I suspect.
Yes, they don't seem to have any use for. She gestures to herself, which is why they let me go.
That's strange, because blood hags operate on blood. I wonder if they're hobbled in some way, or if it's just a very strong preference.
2 of them seemed weaker than the third one.
That's usually how it goes. Covens have a leader.
No, I don't mean their power was less. Maybe it was, but 2 of them seemed physically tired.
Hmm. That's a good sign. That might mean that we have an advantage.
I don't know. If that's what they could do when they're tired, I don't want to see them when they're not.
Consider that was that was just you against them.
I've never seen you so frightened, Priya. We fought horrible creatures of the night. We've dealt with murder, where people were cut down in the middle of the street. We've fought terrible things.
That sorcerer?
Aye. I've never seen you so afraid of any adversary. I can't help but think they've done something to you to make you frightened of them.
What if it's her curse that's making her so scared?
I know.
Like they
I
cursed
don't know
her with
anything about.
fear.
I don't know anything about the curse, or what. I don't know anything about curses. I do know that they showed me my greatest fear, and they promised they would make it come true. And I don't want that.
We won't let that happen. We're
Hags,
so much stronger together than we are alone.
hags, unseelie fae generally
And
have a tendency to try, at least in my experience, have a tendency to try to control people through fear.
Freya, how could they know what your true fear is?
They did. They showed it to me.
They took it from you and showed it to you.
There's magic that can get into your head.
Whatever they did, they know it.
Well, that's how. Do you remember those doppelgangers? They knew things about us that they couldn't have known. And we know that these hags were working with him. So, what's stopping them from using the same magic to look into our fears and show them to us? They don't know you. They took it from you in the moment to scare you. It's all right to be afraid, but we're together. And we're stronger than them.
She looks uncertain and unconvinced. We're not going back out there, are we? At least today, we're not doing that, right?
Not today.
I don't think
Say
so.
that.
I think
Yeah.
we should try to break the curse before going back if we can.
Agreed.
Yes. They
Right.
are sending something to help us with that.
If we can't manage the curse by ourselves, we can talk about going back to Aegis to handle it. All right, Priya? Is that fair to you?
Okay.
But we also can't leave these people to their doom.
No, we cannot. If we do decide we have to leave, we have to spread that word that they have to leave as well, or they'll in danger.
Aye.
Oh,
I don't know if they would leave.
Then it's on their heads.
Some of them probably can't.
What you mean?
I still think they're bluffing.
I'm of that mind as well.
I
If they could have killed us, they would have done it.
I agree with you.
Now we know roughly where they're holed up.
I suppose the subtext here is I'm trying to put Priya at ease, so that maybe it gets a little easier for her.
Well, you can certainly try.
I understand that. If I know anything about wild animals, when they're weak, when they're cornered and injured, they're going to lash out. They don't want you to come and find them, Priya, because we will come and kill them. That's why they're making you scared.
Flower, make a history check.
Sure.
Well,
I don't have great history, but I'll try. 17.
Better than mine.
Nice.
17. And subsequently for this roll, anybody not of the material plane can make a history check.
oh, come
good.
on.
Loser.
Can you DM me,
Ha ha
please?
ha 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 ha.
What?
DM me.
Natural 19 for an 18.
Hell yeah.
I rolled an 11.
All right, so 17.
Hey,
17,
Rhodes!
Why did all the dummies roll better than me?
Hold on. Here, 20.
20.
Ah!
All right.
Aw.
My negative
You know
one
what?
history.
I'll do it to myself. I'll guidance myself as well. Y'all didn't know Wicked guidance, did you? It's a dirty 20. I rolled a 2.
You guys. It's the trauma, okay? That's why I'm stupid.
Sure, the trauma.
They both got dirty 20s.
Yeah.
So we say in unison, class. In class's voice.
Hold on. I just got a DM from Kala real quick.
That's a weird thing for us to say.
At the same time.
I ate my goulash. It was delicious.
Delicious.
Ooh, that
It's funny,
sounds
I was
delicious.
talking about goulash just the other day.
Good
Yeah.
soup.
Just earlier today.
Fucking love goulash.
They told me it was a soup echo. That surprised me.
Okay.
Oh,
Hungarian
did you eat
goulash
it?
is not.
You eat it as like a
Ah.
sauce
All right.
with noodles?
So 16 or better. Who is that?
Everyone but me, basically.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right. You all would kind of like come to the conclusion after reading the journal of Higgins Spinnershine that if these creatures were slain on the material, more often than not, like powerful creatures from another plane that were slain on the material would go back to their original plane, however, significantly weaker. And there would have to be
Like they would
they would have to
be weaker on in their element. They would be weaker like on the plane they come from. Then?
yes, they would be significantly weaker on the plane that they come from, and they would have to do something to regain power.
Oh. Wick closes his mouth after saying that.
Okay.
In unison with Rhodes.
And flour apparently.
Uh?
Yeah.
So-
What do you mean,
Ah!
I think.
They're weaker now.
I mean,
Or they were.
If they've been defeated once before, then we're dealing with just a shadow of what they might have been at one point. You said 2 of them were quite tired. That could be why.
and maybe they'll be even weaker if we're able to get them back into the Feywild. I know some people there. Some pretty powerful people. I can tip them off to.
You know a guy.
maybe finish them off in the Fey. I don't know if I don't know if any of them would do it. I don't know if we have any like bargaining power that's enough to get them to do it. But
Well, just do it the old-fashioned way and kill them.
no, I mean once we get them there.
Oh,
They
I
would
thought
be-
you meant we'd kill them here, they'd go back there, and then people could kill them there.
That's what I mean. Yes.
Yeah.
You don't suppose they could send reinforcements out here?
Well, I think that portal is going to be a problem. That might be the next step. Is
Does
to
anybody
figure out
know how to close a portal?
No.
I mean, I've dabbled it. No.
But that might be something that we could ask them for. We could ask. I'm sure Listry knows how to close a portal or somebody like that. And if
Aye.
not, I can ask Seneschal.
So, in the meantime, we wait until Listre sends the assistants to cleanse Priya of this curse. Aye, that's the plan.
Seems like a
Hey.
good.
Yeah. I think the curse will deal with that first, and then we'll go from there.
As you come up with a plan to wait for help back in Aegis, the bandage that has been covering that mark on you, Priya, Wake would notice it first, being the highest passive perception in everybody subsequently afterwards. But the gauze and the wrap that covers it, all of you begin to see the red outline of blood of the hook in the middle of Priya's chest. Blood is starting to show through in that hook figure. And all of you hear a sound, muffled and distant. But all of you hear coming from Priya's chest.
You completely cut out if you made a noise.
Oh shit! Damn it! You hear a wicked cackle emanate from her chest.
Kids are laughing at me.
Damn it! I wish my mic didn't cut out. Fuck.
Chris, you fuck it up again.
Flowers knuckles are white.
Priya, your hit points reduced by 5.
Dude, I barely have any of those. I didn't sleep last night and I rolled really badly on my short rest.
Yeah. And
Like,
that
she takes 5 damage, or her max
her
hit points
max
are
hit
reduced?
points are reduced by 5.
Ah!
Ooh.
What? Guys, help.
And that's where we'll end the session.
Oh, but it almost brought me up to full health because I lowered my health low enough to meet my.
That's
One way of looking at it.
silver lining.
When the tits fight back.
Calm your nipples.
So,
No! They're cursed!
I know it was a short session. We started late. That's okay. But we'll tackle this next week, and so we'll start off with RP vote, and we'll start with Pen.
I'm gonna give it to Wake for his little threat to the hags when no one else was listening.
Dang it. I was going to do that.
Thank you.
Kala?
Roll for it.
Everybody just roll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lowest one gets it.
8. Aw, okay, well, Trim
Well,
gets it. Unless
Trim
someone else
gets
gets a
it.
1.
I mean, that's on brand.
Hey.
Is that everybody?
No, Zira and Echo haven't.
I'm not rolling.
He refuses.
Then I got to go to the Trim.
Yeah, it goes to Trim.
Okay.
Yeah, because everyone else can roll.
Ganon.
Okay, well, since Priya did the Wake whispering into her tits thing, I'm gonna go with Priya kind of climbing into the bed with Wake, like sort of looking for comfort there after having a really sleepless night. I thought that was very sweet and appropriate.
Cool.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Senji.
I am also going to go to Priya for the terrific performance of Absolute Terror.
Oh. Thanks, I'm scared all the time. I just pulled from there.
Glad to hear it.
Emily.
Same thing, Priya, for being convincingly scared.
I'm in danger.
Echo.
My vote goes to 0 this week. Specifically because she got a dream, a divine message from her god, and she was like, I think that was my god. Like, that felt empowering. Like, did
Empowering
it.
is a very funny thing to say about.
He just told you to girl boss.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Thank you.
Sin.
I actually wanted to give it to Emily because she's like, what are the names of the hags? Like, she's trying to get us all this information, and she's like actually helping us move forward so that we could try to do something. And like,
He's our expert.
yeah, the expert. And just being the expert and actually taking on that role, because I feel like if we were doing something where I was supposed to be the expert, I would not know what the hell to do. I'd be like, class, tell me what's next. So yeah.
All right. Well, looks like Priya, you get the point of inspiration this week.
Oh, yay!
I thank you all for playing with me tonight. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too.
Thanks for not killing me.
We played Dungeons and Dragons!
There you go.
And I'll see you
Yeah,
guys.
where was that earlier?
He was busy.
He said it.
I did say
Not
I was
like
just
He
saying
that.
in a
did say
different
it. He
voice.
said it weirdly.
Yeah, not like that.
What am I, a
was
fucking
waiting.
jukebox? Get out of here.
Yeah, come on. I like the funny one.
Stick a quarter in him and he'll do it.
All right.
Weird.
We'll go back to it next week then.